Well, this was meant to be a simple garden update video about what's working well, more importantly what's not, and how we plan to fix it.
But Mother Nature had other plans.
Sure did. Within a week we encountered a major earthquake, 2 huge storms and a flood that resulted in our garden becoming like a lake. That's the Philippines. Unpredictable, wild, but never boring. Anyway, stick around as we try to fix our garden in between natural disasters. Well, let's start with something which is going well, which is our eggplant trees. And they've just been producing non-stop since we put them in the ground. In fact, we came back from holiday the other day and we picked 15, too much for us to use, so we shared them with the neighbours. We've also got our chilies, which still keep producing and have very minimal maintenance. One thing that is not going so well is our beans. So we had such an abundance of beans, we were picking bunches per day, and we're still getting some flowers, but they're all just kind of gone to shit, really. I planted some new ones down there. They haven't really taken off either, so I'm guessing beans must need to be replanted. We're going to dig this up anyway, and we're going to start planting some more seeds, pretty much starting from scratch and adding some new soil and some new fertilizer into the soil. Over here we've put in some marigolds, which are kind of like giants. I don't understand. When I planted marigolds in Australia, they were kind of small and bushy with lots of flowers. These bad boys, however, they look like they have scoliosis, and they're so tall they can't handle their own weight. We had tomato plants here. They have not gone so well. When we got back, they were all completely dead. So we've planted some new ones, which we have from seed. This is alabati, which was climbing up our tomatoes, and it's an Asian spinach. It's a little bit slimy like okra, but very good for stir fries. And I'm thinking we might need to transplant him because he's not really too good there. Okra Winfrey. One of our original plants is still standing. I did plant some seedlings, and the seedlings are now sort of knee height, and I'm getting a couple of flowers, so that's going pretty good. The kangkong or water spinach that April just stuck in the ground, it just keeps on going. Snip it off, use it again. It's very, very easy, and that's our kind of gardening. Over here we've got lettuce, which we planted from seed, and they're the only ones that I managed to get to actually take from seed. But they just keep producing. We just cut the tops off for salads, and they've been great, but I'm guessing they're going to go to seed soon and we need to replant them. In this garden bed here we have arugula, or rocket as we call it in Australia, and it's been a bit of a problematic bed. This one and this one here, I think the roots from the tree has made it quite solid and compact. So it's making it hard for the roots of the seedlings to grow. Another okra in there, I've kind of stuck them everywhere. Again, this is a very large marigold that I transplanted because the roots are so big, they just can't take. In this garden bed we have a Thai basil and sweet basil. I also planted some carrots in here as well. Yesterday we saw a cheeky chicken digging them up, and again this bed I think is so many roots from this tree, and they're probably struggling a bit. Finally, my cabbages, which I think it was like 8 weeks ago we put these cabbages in, and they're finally starting to resemble a cabbage. Again, cheeky chicken in this one. We found her yesterday and we chased her out. Over in the corner there you can see we have some pumpkin, and I'll talk to you a little bit about the pumpkin, which we have a lot of them up there. To date we haven't had one pumpkin yet. Over here we have lemongrass, which is really doing well, and we use it quite a lot in cooking, as well as this one, which is well, they call it, I think it's actually Cuban oregano or oregano, but it's a native Filipino oregano. Really smells just like it. In there is the fish pond, and we're going to be doing a video on the fish pond, which is now complete. We just need to get some fingerlings, some tilapia fingerlings, and put them in there, which is next week's project. In this little bed we have another and the only standing marigold with one flower on top, but they're just ginormous. They were from seed, and they're tiny little seeds, but magic. Another okra there. And this is a cinctumus, or jicama, or a Mexican turnip, that April just stuck there for shits and giggles. This one, we had peppers, sweet peppers, And yeah, after about 8 weeks, we have bugger all to show for it. There's a couple of little stems. You start to think, really, the amount of effort that goes into gardening, it can be quite time consuming and expensive. If you look at the soil that's in each of these, it's probably about 1,200, 1,500 pesos worth of soil, and we've had nothing from that one, nothing from this one, only a bit of basil from over there, but anyway, it's good fun, isn't it? We had beans over here as well, which were surplus from the other bed over there. All of them kind of gone to crap as well, so we're going to be ripping these ones out and turning over the soil, putting some fertilizer and trying to get them going again, because we did enjoy eating a lot of beans. Eggplant trees again, just keep on producing. We love those. Pichai, or it's like bok choy, a lot of it has gone to flower. We weren't really eating them as much as we probably should, and they did get eaten quite a lot by the crickets. I think the crickets, or crickets? Grasshoppers. I think the grasshoppers probably ate more than what we did. Anyway, we have had a few good meals on the pichai. Let's go around the back and show you those cheeky pumpkins that are not giving us any pumpkins. We have about 8 pumpkin plants, and yet we have not had one female flower yet. We're getting plenty of male flowers, which have 1 stamen. The females have 5, and we don't get any pumpkins unless you have the female, because the men are useless without a female. So it's just been a bit frustrating. If you know why we're not getting any female flowers, if we need to add some fertilizer or something, please let me know. I have Googled it, and it said, Google said, that we only get male flowers at the start to attract pollinators, but we have a beehive just over there, plenty of bees. Can't figure out why we're not getting any females. Anyway, one thing which is going really well, and it's ironic because we didn't plant it, is the papaya trees. So this papaya tree, we have several little papayas on that look like pygmy tits. Can I say that? Anyway, they look like little, it's a family show, isn't it? But they look like something. Anyway, green ones. And hopefully we'll have some papayas or pawpaw soon. They just grow everywhere. We've got this plant here, this one, a couple that are sticking out of the stones. They just grow anywhere. And then up here we have some jackfruit. This here is also another jackfruit tree, which when the guys were working on the land, they were building the house, they were just eating the jackfruit and throwing the seeds, and that's just from a seed that's been thrown. Stuff just grows everywhere if you don't intend. But when you actually have intention and try and grow something, yeah, it's not so easy. Anyway, let's take you down to the other side. I love the shade structure. I wasn't too sure how it was going to look, and I didn't want to ruin the aesthetics of the house because it looks so pretty, but I think it looks really organic and really complements the house, and it's very, very functional. Anyway, let us know in the comments what you think. And I love how the front of the house is starting to look with the plants, which are now much more mature and just so filled up. We planted these only probably 3 months ago, and I think we need to give them a bit of a trim. I'm going to show you our arches over here, and this is a side of the garden which is probably more miserable than that side, or disappointing should I say. So we built some arches here, and this is one thing which is going well. April just threw some seeds from some beans that we had been eating, but we've got these huge long sitao beans, and they are probably a couple of foot long. Managed to have our first meal from this the other day. Managed to get quite a big bunch, probably like a pound, and it was delicious. Oh, Jesus, something just went, one with nature. Over here on this side of the arch, we have umpalaya, or the bitter melon. It's growing, but it's very, very weak, and it's been here for so long. April's shaking her head in disappointment. And then we have some basil and the umpalaya again climbing up there. We do have one little cucumber, which is, we've never seen a cucumber this shape before. It looks like, I don't know, like a little poop, a little nugget. And then on the other side we have some more cucumber, but this is the result of 8 weeks of hard work watering, and we get one little poop shaped cucumber. Anyway, Tomorrow we're going to turn over the beds, we're going to start again, we're going to start afresh and add more soil this time. We've learned a few lessons. With the tomatoes we didn't dig down deep enough, and I think the clay underneath was becoming acidic or too alkaline and affecting the tomatoes. We're learning as we go. If you have any tips, please let us know. We are just fudging it, but so far we've really enjoyed the experience, and it's so nice to be able to eat some stuff from your garden. And yes, of course, we have plenty of malunggay or kumungai plants around the property. One thing we didn't notice till now is we have a big bunch of bananas up there. That was easy to grow. And by the guest house, we have quite a few calamansi or limoncito plants, which apparently are very easy to grow. Not for us. This one we've got a few little ones on there. It's a grafted one, so it should fruit early. But yeah, about 6 plants, and we have not had one limoncito off it yet. That's after about 3 or 4 months. Well, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, which is our gardening time because it's not so hot. And we're going to start with the beans. We need to really rip everything out, put some new soil in, turn it over and replant them. I've just got the remainder of the last beans, and I do feel bad. I kind of feel like we're killing a child of ours.
Well, it was our baby, but it's time to go.
And
Move on and get another one.
Fed us many, many times. I do feel bad, but anyway, time to go, beans. We're going to turn over that soil and we're going to get some new ones put in there. So we've taken all the old beans out. We're just stirring up the old soil. We're going to mix in some new soil, which is rich in carabao poo and other great nutrients like coconut husk. What's that you got there, love?
Shells, shrimp shells.
Shrimp shells. Smelly shrimp shells. She sells shrimp shells on the seashore.
Sure.
And that's going to be good fertilizer for...
You want some worms in there?
Yeah. So this time we're going to try the same beans that we have on the other side, which is the longer ones. It's still sitaw, but it's not a bush sitaw. So we've dried some up and we're going to just pull them out, chuck them in, see how we go. Well, sadly, these beans are going to have to go too, and I'm thinking we probably should plant the bush sitaw here because we don't have a cage. But anyway, up they come. These peach are going to have to wait till tomorrow, but we decided instead of the beans going back in here, this is quite a nice deep bed, so we've just transplanted some peppers from the other bed, leaving the eggplant trees in here. Maple's just ploughing this bed, which is only about 6 inches deep, so we're going to put some more soil in here and then decide what we're going to put in there. So this is our little fish pond. We haven't done a video on this yet, but it's coming up soon. And we have some kamote leaves, which is sweet potato on the left-hand side. And then over there, you can see little patches where it's just brown. We've decided we're going to put kangkong or water spinach there because we eat a lot of it and it's going to grow really well here. So transplanting some cut off bits of kangkong in here, and hopefully it'll be a functional decoration. Well, the sun might have gone down, but it is still stonking hot, and I think we've done enough for the day. It's time for a beer and a swim, I think.
And a swim, for sure.
But this bed is now turned over, ready to plant some more things. We have not decided yet. This bed is a clean slate, and we're thinking we're going to put some more beans in here as well. Tomorrow morning, we're going to resume. For now, I need a beer. Let's go. Time for a beer?
It's time.
It's where you reward yourself after a hard day in the office.
Cool down with beer.
Thanks, love. Well, you certainly wouldn't know it from the look of the weather this morning, which is beautiful. But last night was probably one of the most dramatic weather events I've ever been through in my life. We went up to our neighbour's place for dinner, and we were talking about how their house is 60 years old and made of very, very light materials, and it's still standing through typhoons and earthquakes. We got home a little bit drunk and went to bed, and 10 o'clock we woke to the whole house shaking. Never been an earthquake as strong as that. The whole house was shaking, the pool water was actually splashing out. And brownouts everywhere apart from us because we have solar. Thank you, solar. But that was scary.
Yeah.
All the power was off everywhere around town. Luckily, we still had solar, so we had electricity, but everything was still shaking. Very, very scary. We eventually settled down, went back to bed, and then encountered a thunderstorm. Major thunderstorm with lightning and a shit ton of rain, which has resulted in the trenches filling up. Now, yesterday, you might remember, April was going to plant some kangkong or water spinach just over there, but we did some weeding, didn't get around to it, but it would have been floating this morning. Check out this frangipani or calatucci. Isn't that stunning? But yeah, check out the weather this morning. You'd never, oh my God. I just about died from a fruit that just fell right next to me. That hit me on the head. Oh gosh, it's much fun living in the jungle. Anyway, looking at the weather this morning, you wouldn't know that a lot of Cebu was very, very damaged. Anyway, crazy times. It is the season for typhoons. Not sure about earthquakes, but yeah, interesting. We planted this Chinese bamboo outside our bedroom window to try and give us a little bit of a separation and privacy between our bedroom and the guest house. Anyway, we have some issues. Well, firstly, it looks a bit unruly and I've had to put a piece of nylon across here to keep it in check, but the ants love it. There are so many black ants and the dragonfly. Hello, mate. But yeah, so I'm going to pull it out today. I'm going to put it up against the fence line at the edge of the property so that it keeps the black ants away. I'll show you just how bad the black ants are. Not sure why the black ants love the bamboo so much, but look at the bastards. There's so many. If you know why they're so attracted to it, let me know in the comments below, because there's so many and it's got to the point where it's kind of making all the white wood look black as well. Anyway, bamboo, you got to go. You know when the wind starts blowing and it gets dark and the leaves start falling, something big is coming. Life of the homestead, eh, love?
Yeah, so dark.
Yeah, you can feel the temperature has just changed, it's gone cold. Okay.
Let's go inside.
I think so. Gin and tonic?
It's time.
Every time we see a storm coming, we hear it before we actually feel it. The pressure of the air changes, it gets cooler. You can see the trees starting to rustle. We know it's coming towards us. Oh, hear the fruit falling off the tree. Here it comes, love. Wow, that is a fair bit of wind. It was so still and so beautiful today. The sun was shining, and then it can turn just on a dime like that. Whoa! It's blowing in this way. Okay, time to close the doors, because shit's about to get real. We were at the garden centre about 30 minutes ago, and it was a beautiful day. It turned pretty quick. It's a good old Bohol storm for you. Lightning, thunder, shit ton of rain, probably be done in about half an hour. Pretty exciting to watch. That's about 1 in the morning. The rain's finally stopped. Just checking to see how the water is. Luckily it's kind of stopped about a third of the way up our driveway, I guess. But yeah, the frogs are loving it. Well, a beautiful morning this morning, but a lot of water, and it looks pretty, but yeah, that's a lot of water. I really think I am going to buy a submergible pump and get a pipe that pushes out to the road. Pretty, but yeah, not great. There's my replanted bamboo. Definitely doesn't need watering. It's kind of underwater. I really thought this video was going to take like 2 days to film, but it's been stretched over a week because of all the storms. But most of the garden beds are now turned over. This one where we had the lettuce, we pulled it all out, had a nice prawn salad. These okra are just going fantastic. They were from seed, and last night we had a feed of, I think we had about 7 or 8 okra. This garden bed also is turned over and ready to plant. We just don't know what we're going to plant yet, and every time we try, we can't because it just starts to piss down. Anyway, more okra over there, and the pond, we finally managed to get the kangkong or water spinach in the pond, and hopefully that takes off, and when it floods, it's going to get some good nutrients and we can eat it. Very functional. And I want to show you this, which is my cauliflower can't remember if I showed you yet, but this takes around about 12 weeks to get here. And now I understand why cauliflower is so expensive. It just takes so bloody long. Anyway, 2 cauliflowers there. I think this one might be 1 too, and 1 cabbage. That is the result of 12 weeks. Hard work, gardening. It's fantastic. Now, a lot of people have expressed their concern about the flooding issue that we have with this property. Well, the house is higher than the road, so if it ever gets so high, the water is going to go that way as opposed to into the house. But we had so much rain, and the water only really came up to about 1/3. So it must be slipping away somewhere, because with the amount of rain that we got, it should have just kept on coming. Anyway, the trenches now, it's 2 days since yesterday we had half an hour of heavy rain, and it's almost empty, and the pond is just at the right level. Now, this area over here, we've told you we'd keep on having problems. We've got a couple of poop-shaped cucumbers, and we've decided to give up. So this is all going to be ripped out in a month's time, and we're going to start building a little gym for April and I, because I'm putting on some weight with her cooking and all the beer. It is, I've got the whole spread. So this is going to go. We're going to have an 8 metre by 3.5 metre little gym with a storage area on the end. Let us know what you think. I was so excited about having pumpkin plants. We had about 8 and meters of actual plant with so many flowers that were all male. We never got a female flower, so we never got any pumpkin, and now they're all dying. Yay, gardening. Well, that's a wrap for this episode. We hope you've enjoyed seeing how we plan to fix our garden and see how we really are just fudging it. If you have any comments on how you think we can improve our garden, we would love to hear from you. And we just want to take a moment to say that when we filmed the segment about the earthquake the other day, we had no idea of the devastation and the casualties that that earthquake caused to Northern Cebu.
And so our love and prayers goes to all the victims in the northern part of Cebu.
And so our act of kindness for this week is making a donation to a reputable organisation that we've found, where all donations are going to go directly to the people affected. That's what we're going to do this week. We're going to put a link in the description, and if you can contribute even just a little bit, please, we encourage you to. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to keep up to date with what's happening here at Corellia Homestead,
We are the Grounded Nomads. Until next time, take care.
Let's go make that donation.